winds blowing, heat and blue sky, and a road that goes forever. Thinking about it lately, been watching some TV, been looking all around me and what has come to be. Been talking to my neighbor and he agrees with me. It's all gone crazy.
Lesser of two evils is still evil.
If I've got reason to believe that that officer is not telling the truth, I'm not going to find him credible. Just like I won't find anybody else credible if...
This whole movement has grown out of that one phone call. So, thank you, whoever you are. Everyone hates it, but the two major parties can't touch it because they're part of it.
I don't want to fight. I don't want to say anything negative. I just want to be active. I want the party to grow.
As authors as diverse as Ayn Rand, Robert Heinlein, L. Neil Smith, and J. Neil Schulman have shown, one of the best ways to reach individuals with the liberty message is through fiction.
How do you intend to bring the party internally together? Because I know right now there's a lot of comments going around on Facebook that have been negative and frankly turned me away from wanting to be involved with you and the team and holding on to you. So how do you plan on making that easier for people like you to come? Because right now it's a company.
Definitely, it's all about coming to the table and laying aside any hostilities of the past, laying aside these past grudges and past interactions that have led to this animosity within the party, and just saying what's best for the party moving forward, what's best for supporting our candidates, what's best for growing people, getting people out to events, getting people out to getting donors, things like that.
Is that going to start tonight? Because it's
Sure.
going on.
I'm doing it.
And at Temple, there were like sniper or guys with sniper rifles up on rooftops. God. So, what do we do? Just a bunch of squatters just show up some place, and so they can say, I didn't know. No, like,
they're not after wealth or power or authority. They're not looking for popularity. They don't have the best haircuts and the nicest cars. They're not going outside and everybody running up for autographs, but they're taking part in a process in America called freedom and liberty. What you're about to see and hear are real events about my experience while running for United States Congress. I will not censor anything. I will not let any of the views or the words of people that I interview be censored for any reason whatsoever. Now, some people say that's political suicide. Well, I ask you, what about $17.5 trillion in domestic debt? Is that not political suicide? I'm not a politician. I'm a musician, a writer, an artist, a movie maker, a lover, a surfer, a farmer. I don't care about being elected to Congress. I don't care about being paid lots of money for doing the things I do. It's not about that. What it is about to me is getting the facts, talking to people, getting to know who you are. Each and every one of you. I don't care what you think about if you're thinking that you're a socialist, or if you're thinking there should be a revolution, or if you're thinking that you're a Republican or a Democrat. What I'm here for is the American people. I'm not worried about what party politics are going to play, or, oh, you can't say this, or you can't say that. Let me tell you right now, I had to come back in and edit this video, which was a 2.5 hour long movie, because people in the Libertarian Party didn't like certain views of people that have actually run for Congress within the Libertarian Party who want to speak out about things. So when you want to squash the First Amendment, no matter what it's about, you're squashing your basic constitutional liberties and freedoms, especially when it's in a closed group, especially when it's within your own party, especially when it's within your own country and your own state. So let me ask you this. You're about to see Steve Sussman. He's going to talk about things that may upset you. He's going to wave a gun around in your face. But my video's not about that. My video is about the times. It's about what I see, what I am going through as a candidate who receives 0 donations and who's doing this movie on a 0 budget. You don't have to watch it. Opinions are like assholes, and everyone's got one. So enjoy the next several weeks as I give you my experiences and let you hear from the people that I meet while I'm running for Congress. Call it a documentary, call it an interview, call it what you will.
I've had enough. When are you Americans gonna have enough and take care of your own destiny? It's time to do something. Let's act.
Steve Sussman challenged Pete Olson for the 22nd Congressional District in 2010 and 2012. Steve Sussman is the only Libertarian candidate that called me and communicated with me after the 2012 elections when I came in second. He actually congratulated me. And he was one of the first people I decided to go to for advice for my 2014 campaign.
When are you Americans gonna wake up? Trying to vote these people out? People like Gene Green, people like Sheila Jackson Lee, people like Pete Olson, they're gonna be around forever. The banks and the corporations own our country. And these Congress people use our Constitution as a doormat. We mean nothing to them. When the fuck will you people wake up and know we're gonna have to have a bloody revolution in our country before anything changes? I, for one, am ready, willing, and waiting to trample this police state surveillance society and anyone who tries to threaten my family or steal my money and anything that belongs to me. When are you gonna wake up and realize this Democrat-Republican fake two-way paradigm is nothing? It's a means to make us fight each other while they steal our rights, while they grind our family into the dirt. At least I can look at myself in the mirror come the day the revolution starts, and my grandchildren will be proud knowing I stood the fuck up and did something to save this country. What about you?
Oh my God, he went there. A bloody revolution. No, look, guys, come on. So, look, I'm having to re-edit this because people are like, he wants a bloody revolution. Look, I'm a pacifist, okay? This is an interview. This is Steve Sussman's point of view, okay? This is not the Libertarian Party's point of view. Some of us, not me, so to speak, but it's Steve's point of view, okay? You have the freedom of speech in America. It's your First Amendment right. Get over it. It's his right to say this. He can say this. He's pissed.
You see that? We're watching.
Let's see what else Steve had to say.
It's a shame when we have even infiltrators in our own third party that make us want to leave and we're discouraged. It's a shame millions of Americans are out of work, yet I have to work in a shithole under the cover of darkness to evade your extortion, your permits, your taxes, your bullshit fees. I've had enough. When are you Americans gonna have enough and take care of your own destiny?
Ah! He pulled out a gun.
It's time to do something. Let's act.
No, guys. He exercised his Second Amendment right to own his own gun. He's on camera. He pulled out a gun to emphasize the fact that he's willing to stand up and make a statement, that he's got the guts to say, hey, you know what? If people are going to run everybody in the ground, this is what I'm going to say. Like it or not, I have the freedom of speech and I have a Second Amendment right. A lot of you folks need to learn how to use it. A lot of you folks need to learn how to exercise it. That's just, hey, that's my opinion. I'm not saying anything else. Hey, what else can I say?
You watch this show at your own risk. It travels into the past, yet leads into the future. Not a future that will be, but it may be. This is a new world we live in, but it is the same world that came from the old one.
I ran for Congress twice and got 2.65% of the vote both times. If that doesn't tell you the voting machine is rigged, and if that doesn't tell you these people are crying for freedom and liberty, but you won't get off your ass and do any block walking, you won't give $5 or $10 to help an independent candidate out. So you don't want freedom and liberty. You want American Idol, and you want your football games. What are you gonna want when the economy collapses and your family's starving to death and you can't provide anything for them because you spent all weekend partying, drinking beer, and not thinking of the future? How long until you wake up into the fact that our country's been hijacked? You have no representation. You are your representative. Now, why don't you get up and stop watching American Idol? Why don't you get out there and think about your children and your grandchildren? Our country is being run into the toilet. In the next 5 minutes, some crooked legislator is passing more and more legislation to wreck this country, steal more of your rights, and desecrate your children's future. Aren't you sick? Aren't you tired? And most of all, aren't you ready to vote from the rooftops? I am. I'm a proud 3%er, and the 3%ers will rise when that day comes. Hey, I'm Steve Sussman. I ran in 2010-2012 as a Libertarian candidate for District 22. Why? Because Pete Olson forgot about all of his constituents. While Obama passed his Cash for Clunkers program and the Congress was fine with that, my wife and my son and myself lost our business, $50,000 that we had worked hard and saved for, reduced to nothing in 6 months. Our representative didn't represent us. So now I'm back to working as a mechanic. and back to doing it undercover because the fees and the permits are too much. But that's fine. We'll find a way to work around the system. That's fine. I drive a 96 Chevy pickup. That's back when they actually knew how to make something. And it's still rolling because that's the American spirit, and that's me. I'm an American, and I'm damn proud of it. Hurricane Ike came through Houston in 2008, devastated a lot of businesses, including mine. My home was damaged. My mortgage company saw fit to steal my insurance settlement, and I had to spend $6,000 to get my own money back. That's when I began to wake up. That's when I saw a film by Aaron Russo called America's Freedom to Fascism. That's when I got involved in the liberty movement with a lot of people that are working and living in Austin now. We're tired of the status quo. We're tired of being ignored, and we're tired of being stolen from. So that's why I ran for Congress. That's why I'm doing this right now, speaking to you. We've got to get up and do something. You can't just sit there and do nothing. I got to get up. I got to do something. Progress isn't going to be made by fooling around on Facebook and going to some phony convention where some rigged person's, stealing votes and buying people's loyalties. I got to go out and do some work so I can take care of my family. I'm sick of this shit.
Wow. So that was Steve Sussman. He's a pretty cool guy. And he's got a lot of good points. And he seems pretty pissed off. And I have a lot that I can relate with, in being that I have a business. And during Hurricane Ike, my business was destroyed. And the insurance company fought me in court for 2 years and only gave me 1% of all my damages. So imagine that. Wow, Steve. Nice meeting you.